Hello, welcome to another edition of the Cryptic Mystic. I'm in for a treat today because today I'm going to be solving an Henri puzzle. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, Henri is a setter that a couple of weeks ago I did one of his puzzles and it absolutely blew my mind. If you haven't seen the puzzle, I'd advise you to go and look for the video. I'll put a link to the video here somewhere. Now, Henri is one of the top setters on mycrossword.co.uk, one of our favourite websites on this channel, because it's a channel where you can make your own crosswords, but you can also solve lots of homespun crosswords from amateur setters. So there are some professional setters on there as well. So check out mycrossword.co.uk. I'll put a link to today's puzzle in the video description so you can play along if you like. I'm really looking forward to this. I think Henri's a fantastic setter, so it should be good fun. If you're a complete beginner, check out this video. It's a 60-second guide to cryptic crosswords just to get you an idea of what the anatomy of a cryptic crossword clue looks like. Very hard to say that this time of day. And then once you watch that video, you can come back here and watch me hopefully solve this puzzle. I'll give you lots of tips and hints as we go through and hopefully parse all the clues as I go. But let's get on with it, will we? Should be good fun. Cool. Okay, so here we have the puzzle. As you can see, it's number 2310. It was literally published by Henri a couple of days ago. I'm recording this on a Monday. I think he published it on Saturday. So, here we go. Let's try one across. Alien excitedly abandoning real mash. That's a nice clue in it. So, just to be clear again, the definition's either going to be alien or it's going to be mash or real mash or something like that. What is it going to be? Is the question, isn't it? I'm looking here. There's a couple of words here that I think could be anagram indicators. I'm just trying to add up what's going on. So an anagram indicator could be excitedly, because if things are portrayed excitedly, they might be moved around a bit. Or mash could also be an anagram indicator, because if you mash something up, you mess it about, don't you? Anagram indicators tend to be words that give you that type of feel. So things being moved around or upset or drunk or confused or crazy, that type of thing. So I'm just going to add up some letters here because we need 18 letters. Abandoning is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so abandoning is 9. Real mash. Let me see. It looks like it's this, doesn't it? Abandoning and real mash. So excitedly is the anagram indicator. I think that's how it works, because that looks like 18 letters to me. There's 4 and 4 is 8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, 18. So we're making an anagram of abandoning real mash, and it's going to mean alien then. So it means alien. What is happening there? Quite a lot of letters to try and juggle with, aren't there? It starts with 2 letters. That must be... I'm trying to think of aliens. Can't think of any. The only one I can think of is E.T. It's not going to give me 18 letters. Let's have a look at these. See if there's anything I can spot in the fodder here. The fodder is what we refer to as the letters where you make an anagram from. Yeah, I'm not 100%. I can't see it right now, so I'm going to come back to it. I'll see if I can get some of these downs, and then it'll help me. So I'm going to try 2 down, since 1 down is part of the original answer. So 2 down. Seasonal help in hotel foyer. Oh, I've got this. This is a hidden word clue, which means I'm going to ring the bell. And when I ring the bell, that means, I've found a hidden word clue. So my favorite type. So what this means is the answer is actually hidden in the clue itself. The definition here is seasonal help. and it's in hotel foy. So in is basically a hidden word indicator. It's telling you, it's not always a hidden word indicator, but in this case it is. And within hotel foy, there's a word that would be seasonal help. Look at that, it's elf. See that? So Santa's seasonal help. So let's get that in. Get off. Good to get off to a start, isn't it? Fantastic. Right, let's try 3 down. So 3 down, labourers pull up with nasty sneer. Nasty is giving me anagram vibes. That tells me, I think that's an anagram indicator. So probably we're using something up, probably using an anagram of sneer at the end here. The whole thing means labourers. That's the definition. Who pull up. I don't think it's L-U-P-P, because that would be literally pull up. Maybe it's a word for pull reversed. Because this is a down clue, up tends to mean you're reversing something. And with is just a placement indicator. So we're going to put a word for pull backwards with an anagram of sneer. Just looking at, labours is plural. This is going to end in an S, isn't it? So it might be nears or definitely ends in an S. I'm trying to think what pull could be. Got it. Okay, pull is drag. You put drag backwards, you get guard. And then the anagram of sneer is inners. So gardeners or labourers, you could call labourers. Very nice. Cool. Okay, 4 down. 4 down. Henri's replacing lid of stew in picture. So Henri is the setter. Normally when a setter refers to themselves in a crossword, it usually means I'm or I or me. And it's replacing lid of stew. Now, in cryptics, whenever you see something referring to the top of something or the lid of something or the tip of something, it's talking about the word that it's referring to. So it's going to be probably a synonym for stew, and we're going to replace the initial letter of that with Henri in some way, with I'm or me, and it's going to mean picture. The definition here is picture. Can't see it quite yet, so let's come back to that. I'm trying to think of words for stew. I can't think of anything apart from hot pot. Let's try 5 down. That man's promises about nationalist revolting. When you see that man or that woman in cryptic, it usually means her or him or he or she. The apostrophe S here is probably being used as well. There's no superfluous words, remember, in a clue. So this is probably he's promises about nationalist revolting. Well, about's an interesting word because about can mean about 6 different things in a cryptic. It can mean you put a word around another word, so it's a container indicator, or it can mean you reverse a word, or it mean you can make an anagram over a word, or it can also stand for circa, as in approximately. So it could be CA, or even just C. And it can also be re, as in the Latin for about. Just trying to think what it is in this case. I think the definition here is revolting. That's what I think, because this all feels wordplay to me. Promises. I want to say promises or IOUs, just in cryptics that comes up a bit. So it could end in IOUS. It's not hideous, is it? No. Heinous, maybe heinous, yes, heinous, because we have promises or IOUs, and they're about nationalist. Nationalist has been abbreviated here to an N. So remember, you can only abbreviate words that have an abbreviation existing in the dictionary as well. So nationalist is an N, and then that man is here. So the apostrophe S, and I was wrong about the apostrophe S, and it wasn't actually it wasn't used. I wonder in what context that means it's there. I'll leave that for you to think about. Have a think in the comments about that one. But that man is he. Promises, IOUs, about nationalist, and the whole thing means revolting. See that? Very nice. Cool. 6 down. Letters from Italian niece, 1 of 18. Normally when you see Italian or French or Spanish or something in a clue, it usually means use the Spanish or French or Italian version of that word. It could be this definition, it could be letters, and it could be the Italian for from, but I'm not sure because it's 1 of 18. I'm not really sure of. From is a word that usually indicates where the definition is. So usually everything before the from is a definition. So it could mean letters, and we get that from this sort of wordplay. I'm not sure. Letters from Italian niece. I can see Annie in there. Look at that. Can you see that? Annie. I wonder if letters from literally means, it's a hidden word indicator maybe. 1 of 18. One of 18. Is this referring to Annie the musical? Was she 1 of 18 orphans? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if this is Annie or not. I just can see it there. Because these are my favorite types of clues. I look for hidden words all the time, even if they're not necessarily indicated. So I'm not really sure. Let's go to 9 across. Maybe Lutheran group remains to keep arrangement independent. Well, maybe Lutheran. I can see this looks like Reformation or some description, doesn't it? As in maybe Lutheran group. Just because of the checking letters we got here, this has to be some sort of reform. Reformation pretty much fits there, doesn't it? Apart from the end. Reformationists, I think, would be maybe a Lutheran group. So how's that working? Just to see if we can justify it. A lot of the times in cryptics, what you basically do is you're coming up with what you think is a definition, and then you're trying to justify it using the wordplay. That's why it's quite handy having 2 ways of getting to the answer. Okay, so I think maybe Lutheran group is a definition, which means remains to keep arrangement independent is the wordplay. So let's look at what we got here and see if we can make this happen. Something's keeping, something that could be a container. So we have remains. Remains could be rest. Maybe rests. Arrangement could be formation. Couldn't it? We have formation, which would be arrangement. And then I is independent. Yeah, the I is an abbreviation of independent. So that's how that comes. So I'm fairly happy with Reformationists now as an answer. Nice one. Cool. Let's go 10 across. Still got my eye on this 1 across. I'll come back to that in a sec, I think. But let's try 10 across. And it looks like the N from Annie is still there actually as well for 6 down. So maybe it is Annie. Let's come back and see. Reason to have fever around year's end. Well, here we have a reference to year's end. Now that's the end of the word year. That's an R. There's an R being inserted in here, and we're having a fever around R. I'm thinking 4-letter words for fever. I'm thinking a word that I never know how to pronounce. Is it agu or agu? which means that like a fever, doesn't it? So I think this is argue. That's what I want to write anyway. Or is it even just, how do you pronounce that word? A-G-U-E? I never really know how to pronounce it. I like this. Reason, argue, yes. That's the definition here. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Nice clue. So that's year's end is the R. All good. Cool. Here we have 12 across. 1-0, occasionally loud, extremely crazy TV show. 144. So I think the definition here is a TV show, I reckon. Extremely crazy. Again, a bit like what we had before with here, where we had year's end. You know, it referred to the word year. Extremely refers also to a word, and so extremely crazy, or is talking about the extremes of crazy. That's going to be C and Y. So this ends in a C and a Y. Oh, this is I Love Lucy, isn't it? It's the only TV show I can think of that fits that. And I don't know. Let me just write it in and then justify it again like we did before. So 1-0. Well, 1 in a cryptic can be abbreviated to an I because of the Roman numeral I meaning 1. 0 can be a 0 or love. Could be another synonym for it. If you think of like 30-0 in tennis is 30 love, isn't it? Occasionally loud. Well, occasionally refers as a wordplay indicator. You're basically taking alternate letters of the next word or the previous word, and it's the L and the U here from that. And then we have the extremely crazy, as I mentioned. So the TV show I Love Lucy. There we go. And let's just check in on Annie. Annie is still looking pretty good there, isn't it? This looks like it could be Annie. Right, let's have a go. Let's go back to 1 across and see if we can make a sense of that now. We've got a few of the letters being used. Alien, excitedly abandoning real mash. Abandoning real mash. That looks, that's Englishman. Oh, this is an Englishman abroad, isn't it? That's cool. I like that. We got sort of Sting vibes from this. I'm an alien. I'm an illegal alien. I'm an Englishman in New York or whatever it is, isn't it? But this is an Englishman abroad. Would be alien. An alien. Very nice. That's a cool clue. I like that. Nice one. Okay, Annie is looking right. And I wish I knew why, but Annie is definitely 1 of 18. Maybe, hang on, 18 might refer to 18 down. I've just seen there's an 18 in the grid now. So let's have a look at 18. If 18 is an orphan, then we know what we're talking about. It's not like there was 18 orphans in Annie. 18 down. For turning up, husband getting answer in short lines of text. Yes, this is orphan. Look, because 4 turning up is pro. 1 sec, is pro, isn't it? So it's O. Pro turning up, pro reversed. Husband can be abbreviated to an H. Answer is definitely ands, isn't it? And then short lines of text is the definition. Those are orphans. It can be called orphans. So it is, Annie's an orphan. Because Annie here, the 1 of 18 refers to one of the orphans, 1 of 18 down. Cool. Okay, good. Well, we somehow blundered away into Annie there, so I'm happy with that. Let's have a look at 4 down again now, because we've got quite a bit going on there. Henri's replacing lid of stew in picture. Well, this is definitely going to be an I am here. This is imagine. And so it's a stew is a tagine, isn't it? Like a Moroccan stew is a tagine. If we take off the initial letter of tagine and replace it with Henri as an I'm, Then we get imagine. That's a clever clue. I like that one. That's very nice. Cool. Let's try 13 across, see if we can get anywhere there. Sun article by Len Stokes in Northern Town. Sun article. Well, article, I did a whole short on articles yesterday. When you see article mentioned in the cryptics, it's usually an A, an, or a the. Is referring to the definite or the indefinite article. I think the definition here is northern town. I'm just trying to think of some northern towns that fit that. Some article by Len. Okay, St. Helens. That's a nice, very nice clue. St. Helens is a town. I think it's up north. I don't know exactly where. It's in the north of England. I'm not sure if it's in Lancashire or Yorkshire, but I know they play a lot of rugby league there. So I want to say it's in Yorkshire, but I'm not sure. But look, here we got sun can be abbreviated to an S. Then article is the. Then Len is literally just inserted into the clue. And Stokes can be an S as well. I didn't know that. Stokes must be able to be abbreviated to an S. I'm not sure why, but there we are. I'm sure Henri's looked that up. So then we get St. Helens, which is a town in the north of England. Lovely. Okay. Hope you're enjoying the crossword so far. It's fun, isn't it? And if you're completely new to these, and this is all very alien to you, then just bear with everything, because over time, with a bit of experience, you start to spot common wordplay indicators and things like that, and then suddenly things start becoming a bit more understandable, put it that way. But it does take a lot of time to get to the stage where you can finish a cryptic, I think. Let's try 7 down. Okay, suspend my old made up names. Well, just based on made up names and this check-in letter here, I'm thinking pseudonym. Suspend my old, yeah. It's pseudonyms, isn't it? I think we're making an anagram here. Let's put it in to start with. P-S-E-U-D-O-N-Y-M-S, pseudonyms. So we're using suspend, aren't we? And my and old can be abbreviated to an O. So we're basically using those letters. And then it's quite nice this, because it's actually a sort of semi-analytic, because part of the wordplay also indicates the definition. So we made up names as the definition, but we're making up those letters as well. That's been made up to make us names. That's cool. Very neat. Nice one, Henri. Okay, 8 down. Classy Rialto showing Lost Kingdom. I'm going to ring that bell again. I didn't ring the bell for Annie in the end, so let's just ring it now, because this is a hidden clue. There we go. Hopefully we heard that. Let me just double check if that's working, is it? I'm hoping it is. I'm just going to ring it again. Yes, look at that. Okay, so this is Classe Rialto is actually hiding the answer to this, and showing is the indication that those words, that the answer's in there, so that these words are actually showing the answer. So a lost kingdom, and if you look in here, look, we have Assyria or Assyria. Who knows how you pronounce these things? Brilliant. Okay, lovely jubbly. Let's try 14 across. We've got quite a lot of letters there. We should hopefully make some progress here. Language in Panama originally. Wow, I'm going to ring that bell again. I could just see Maori just jumping out at me. There's another hidden. And the definition here is language. And we're finding it in the words Panama originally. It just jumped out at me. I could just see Maori. I mean, it's quite a cool clue, because originally can also mean take the initial letter of something. So, you know, that could be some sort of disguise there, but this is definitely Maori, which is a language, isn't it? So, A-O-R. Cool. Good. That's the top half, more or less done, isn't it? Nice one. Okay, let's see. Where are we going now then? Let's try 11 down, since we got like 2 letters there. Leaving sexual encounter, 7-3. Not a huge amount of wordplay there. I would say 0 wordplay. Feels like a double definition. Double definitions are clues that don't have wordplay but actually have 2 definitions. So you're looking for a word that's a synonym for both. This must be getting sexual encounter. It's not getting some, is it? Because there's only 3 letters there. Getting off is what it is. Getting off. That, I'm getting off. That means you're leaving, doesn't it? But getting off also means when you get off with someone, you're having a sexual encounter, as they say. Very nice. I haven't heard that word in a long time. So getting off. Cool clue. Like it. Right, let's try 16 across. 16 across. Manages to eat setter's Mars. Manages to eat setter's Mars. I like when I see manages in a cryptic, I nearly always think of run, like runs. And again, remember what I said before when Henri mentioned himself, this case, it's just the setter. So it's going to be I or I'm or me again. So there's an I in here and you can see it right there. So I think if we actually put runs around I, we get runes, which could be a synonym for Mars, couldn't it? Not the planet, obviously, but the verb. When you mar something, you ruin it. Neat. 15 down. Charlie's plan to recruit Bill for campaign. Well, the NATO alphabet is used a lot in cryptic, so when you see a word that occurs in the NATO alphabet, there's a good chance you're just looking for that letter. So when you see Charlie or Tango or Bravo or that type of thing, you're just going to use that letter. So this is the letter C here. Plan to recruit Bill for campaign. So for here's a link. I think it means everything, this is like an equal sign in the sentence. So this is wordplay. For tells you that the definition is here. Usually everything after the for is a definition. So we need a word for campaign, beginning with C. Try and work out the rest of the wordplay here. Plan to recruit Bill. That to me sounds like a container. So a word for plan is recruiting Bill. And Bill in cryptics is very often an ad. Like an advertisement. So there's an AD in here. What's the plan? I can't think. Don't know. I'm going to try. Let's try 20 across and we'll come back. Cleaning product with vegetable oil primarily replacing nitrogen. 5-4. Cleaning product. This feels like the definition to me. It looks, begins with a P. This is soap, isn't it? This is some sort of soap. See, primarily here usually indicates initial letter. And oil is, so the O of oil is replacing nitrogen, and nitrogen can be abbreviated to an N. So I think what we're doing here, this is soap. If this is soap, then the O has replaced an N, so that would be snap. Yeah. Okay, what a cool clue this is. So what's happening here? We're coming up with a word for a vegetable, actually 2 words for a vegetable. And then within that word, we're replacing the O. We're replacing the N in the word for an O. And that gives us, instead of being sugar snap, it's actually sugar soap. There you go. How cool is that? Very nice. Right, 23 across. The deficient retail supply. Here's a cool word. I like this word because I remember the first time that I came across it, and understood what it meant was probably about a year ago. Actually, the channel, today is the 10th of March. So in like, I think in 2 or 3 days time, I can't remember if it was the 12th or the 13th of March is when I first posted a video on here. And not long after that, there was definitely this came up in a clue, supply, and it actually means make an anagram of. But how you should read it is supply. If something's supple, it's a bit manipulated and manipulatable. If that's even a word, a bit malleable. So the deficient retail, I think we're making an anagram of that. And the definition then is going to be the, or, you know, the. I can see it now. That is so nice. What a clue. It's definite article. I had me chatting about articles earlier on as well. And look, it's actually, it comes the answer in this puzzle. But I love supply. You can read it as supply. These are called words that are spelled the same but have a different sound are called homographs. And words that are spelled differently but sound the same are called homophones, aren't they? But this is a homograph. Supply. Cryptic crossword setters love homographs because they can use them to throw you off the track completely. You know, we're thinking of supply here, but it's actually an adjective instead. And look at that. Definite article is an anagram of the deficient retail. How cool is that? That's brilliant. Right, 15 down. Go back to this campaign. This has to be crusade then. Looks like crusade, doesn't it? So we have Charlie. There's the ad I mentioned for Bill. And then we got a ruse. A ruse could be a plan, couldn't it? So the plan is recruiting. So it's containing Bill, containing ad. Nice. Okay. Let's move on. Let's try 21 down. We've got lots of letters here. The last puzzle I did with Henri was unbelievable. If you have, like I said, I mentioned it in the intro, but if you haven't watched it, please do, because there was so much going on over and above the crossword as well. So I wonder if there's anything happening in this one, or if it's straightforward crossword. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't watched it yet, but please go and find it. It was about 2 weeks ago. I think my thumbnail says something about mind blowing, but I'll put a link to that puzzle as well into the video description actually. 21 down. Freelance samurai working in Indonesia's navy. Based on what I've heard there about freelance samurai, I think this is Ronin. They were freelance samurais, when they were samurais with no master, famously. So how's that working? Well, working in a cryptic is on. Very often it's a very small synonym for working is on. If something's on, it's working. Now, it's in Indonesia's navy. There's the I and the N there. So is the Indonesia's navy called the Royal Indonesian Navy? Maybe is it the RAN? Like we have in the UK, it's the Royal Navy. Maybe in Indonesia, it's the Royal Indonesian Navy. So that's where that comes from. Like, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure. But from the definition here, I think that a Ronin is a freelance. I suppose you could describe it as a freelance samurai, someone who doesn't answer to anyone. Nice. Okay. 17 down, let's go there. Scoundrel supporting Tesla. Bit of a pig. Nice clue, Henri. Got this. So Tesla is a unit, isn't it, in physics? Can't remember what it's the unit of now. I want to say magnetic flux, but that's maybe not right. But I know it's a unit, a scientific unit. So we're probably just using the T here. Yeah, a bit of a pig would be a trotter. And a scoundrel would be a rotter. There we are. Rotter. I can't hear rotter without thinking of I had an English teacher when I first went to secondary school, so 11 or 12. He's a bit eccentric, to say the least. And if you ever forgot your exercise book, he would always say, strange things. You basically If you've got your exercise book and you told him, he would just tell you to do it in your jotter, you rotter. So every time I see the word rotter, I think of him. Absolutely crazy person. Right. Let's go 17 across. US transport system, source of online abuse? Sadly, yes. US transport system. The US is very often just US or, you know, I can't see why that fits in here, so that's probably not. Sounds like this is more definition-y here then at this end. Sadly, yes. Sadly is an anagram indicator. I can see the Y here, so maybe we have some version of yes here. Probably EYS. It probably fits better, doesn't it? Trolleys, is it? Online abuse. Well, online abuse would be a troll, wouldn't it? So troll. And then an anagram of yes would be EYS. Now, US transport system, trolleys. Is that what they call trams? Or am I completely barking up the wrong tree there? Trolleys. They're definitely, they're a system of transport in the UK if you're transporting your goods around the supermarket, aren't they? But yeah, it must be something to do with that. Well, trolleys or trams, maybe. Cool. In fact, I'm happy from the wordplay anyway. Source of online abuse is a troll. And then sadly, yes, refers to an anagram of yes. Cool. Okay, let's go 14 down. Measuring device, military officer initially saw on outskirts of Exeter. That's a nice clue. When you see, like I said before, like extremely or things like outskirts of Exeter, what do you think that is? That's basically referring to the outskirts of the word Exeter, which are the outer letters, the E and the R. And this is all on that, so this ends in ER. And so measuring device is probably the definition here. Military officer initially. Well, officer, or is it initially saw? Officer initially is an O. Some sort of meter. It must be milometer. It's a milometer. So military officer. I don't know, but can military be shortened to mil? Is that right? I don't know. Officer is definitely an O. Because of the initially part here. And then saw could be met. And then outskirts of Exeter is ER. So military maybe can be abbreviated to MIL, I suppose. Yeah, maybe it can. Cool. Okay. Milometer looks good for a measuring device anyway, so that's good. Let's try 22 across. Tightwad from Watford Gap, perhaps with no bad habits. Well, tightwad is a word for somebody who's tight with their money. This is a miser, isn't it? I think this is miser. How does that work from a wordplay point of view? Well, there's from. I remember I mentioned before, from very often tells you that everything before from is the definition. So Watford Gap, perhaps with no bad habits. That's brilliant. The Watford Gap, you need a bit of UK knowledge here. Watford Gap is a service station on the M1. So what Henri's doing here brilliantly is saying, a way of describing Watford Gap would be M1 services. And then if we have that word M1 services and we take away the bad habits, so what are bad habits? Vices. We're taking vices away from M1 services and we're left with miser. That's brilliant. That's great. I love that one. That's my favourite one today, I think, so far. Very nice. Right, 19 down. China fragment that is not dated. Okay. 100 things to talk about in this clue. I like it. I think I have it as well. First thing to know is China. When you see China mentioned in a cryptic, chances are we're talking Cockney rhyming slang. Because in a part of London, a long time ago, they had this slang to basically deceive the police and talk about all sorts of no goodness. And so they would have two word phrases that would rhyme with the word that they're trying to disguise. So in this case, the word they're trying to disguise is mate. And a mate would be called a china plate. And then in cutting rhyming slang, you ignore the plate part. You just say the first word. So a china is your mate, is your friend. This is friend. So how we deduce it from the rest of the wordplay? Let's have a look. Well, that is very often abbreviated to IE, isn't it? From id est. And that's here, look. Not dated is going to be ND. Not can be abbreviated to N, I think, and dated can be abbreviated to D. And then fragment. Maybe fragment could be FR, I don't know. But it makes sense to me that it potentially could do. And we get friend, anyway, meaning China. So whenever you see China in a cryptic, think mate or pal or friend. It's usually one of those. Sometimes it's used in the wordplay, so when it's in the wordplay, it's more likely to be mate or pal, because you can use those as little segments of other words, can't you? Right, which way we go now? We go 25 across or 24 down? We've just got 2 left. This has gone really quick for me. I don't know how long. How long have we been doing this? 40 minutes, maybe? Such a nice puzzle, though. Let's try 25 across. Around Britain, varied prices under and over the counter. Varied prices. Varied to me feels like an anagram indicator. You can see a lot of the letters of prices in here, and under actually. I think we're making an anagram of prices under. That's 11 letters. Around Britain, maybe we're putting a B in there as well for Britain. So around Britain, around the letter B, we're putting an anagram of prices under, and it means over the counter. So and is a link basically between the wordplay and the definition. Unprescribed is that word we're looking for. It's referring to sort of drugs, aren't they, when they're over the counter? Unprescribed. There we go. That's nice. Well, I always thought over the counter drugs were the ones that were prescribed, because you had to buy them over the counter. Maybe I'm talking nonsense there. Cool. Or maybe they're unprescribed in that you can just buy them over the counter. You don't need a prescription. Yeah. Okay. Excellent stuff. Right. Last one. 24 down. Apprentice raised 75 cents. We have 2/3 of the letters here. What could it be? It could be cab, cob, cub. Oh, that's nice. What a clue that is. I can't believe we got this the last one as well. The definition here is apprentice. And then the wordplay is a raised 75 cents. What are 75 cents? It's 3/4 of $1. And what's the word for $1? A buck. 3/4 of the word buck would be BUC. And then we're raising it. So we're reversing it. And that gives us CUB, giving us cub, which you could describe as an apprentice as a cub, couldn't you? Brilliant stuff. Nice one, Henri. This is class. What a clue there, the end. Really, really good. I love miser. I love cub. Those are two that stick out to me right now. And getting off. Let's bring back that phrase, getting off. Wow. So good. And plenty of hidden clues as well, just to keep me super duper happy in that as well. Fantastic. Let me just double check it over right here. Let me just check the grid. Check grid. Let's push this up so you can see. Confirm check grid. Yes. We're all good. We are all good. Fantastic. There you are. What a brilliant puzzle, eh? Really, really good. Henri is class. We've done over 100 of these puzzles, and you can tell there's a lot of experience in play here. It's really skillfully done. Brilliant clues, great fun, lovely surfaces. Can't ask for more than that, can you really? Fantastic. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please do like, subscribe, spread far and wide, comment. Let me know what your favourite clue was in that as well. I'd love to hear that. Yeah, let's see what happens next time. But in the meantime, I do a live stream every Sunday where we come up with a clue of the week, and I invite you to come up with your own clue for the clue of the week. This week's clue of the week is ordinary share. Yeah, basically we've painted ourselves into a corner in the Cryptic Mystic crossword, and that's the only thing it could fit in one across. So we need a clue for ordinary share. You can send me an email here to my email address, and I'll happily highlight it in the live stream on Sunday, which is at 8 p.m. UK time. And then we vote on, if you're new to this, we vote on the clue of the week, and then the winner goes into the Cryptic Mystic crossword. But that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. If you got this far, that's brilliant. I really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Thanks again to Henri. See you soon. Bye.